Hello YouTube, I am Landon McMahon, and I am here to teach you about inalienable and natural rights. I am doing this so I can get a good grade in Mrs. Spivey's class. I don't really want to pursue a career in anything law. Too much work, but let's get into it. So, inalienable rights. Inalienable rights are rights that cannot be taken from you from the law, the courts, the government, or society in general. Some examples of these laws are the freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, the right to possess and protect property, the rights to bear arms, the ability to seek health, safety, and happiness in a lawful way, and the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These are all examples of inalienable laws. These cannot be taken from you. But there are stipulations. You can't just own a firearm without having it being registered or having a license, depending on where you live in the United States of America. The right to freedom of assembly. You cannot assemble to destroy or deface property, such as a while back during COVID, the riots in Portland. Those are not lawful acts of assembly. Another one is freedom of speech. If you're using freedom of speech for like defamation, obscenery, or you're threatening somebody, that is not a lawful use of the freedom of speech. But, like, let's say you get unlawfully arrested and you're trying to, like, talk to a police officer and he's telling you, you can't talk right now. It's against the law for you to talk right now. That is, in fact, unlawful, and you always have the right to freedom of speech in those situations. Now, for natural rights. Natural rights are basic rights that include life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and every citizen within the United States is entitled to these rights, and they are protected from the government or society. Inalienable and natural rights kind of like interlock a lot, and it's kind of hard to know the difference, but I'm going to try to in this one. Some examples of natural rights are the freedom from torture, freedom from slavery, right to equality, right to socialization and relationships, the right to free will and choice, and the right to defend yourself. So let's say, for example, you're a child walking down the road and some man comes up to you and was like, oh, you're going to be my little slave. That is completely unlawful, and that is against your natural rights, and that man will be put in the slam. But same goes like, I can't go and tie somebody down and torture them. That is completely unlawful, and I will get put in the slam. But inequalities such as like when we had the Jim Crow laws and segregation and all of that, that is not technically inequality because, well, both groups had the same, but deep down it wasn't exactly the same. But if I were to make like an assembly, and I were to say, oh, you can't be here because you are of this ethnic background, this race, or so on and so forth, that would be unlawful, and I could get justified for that. So you cannot be forced away from society. This is different from being put in jail. The government can't be like, hey, I'm putting you on this island. You will never be seen again. That is unlawful and against your natural rights. If the government was forcing you to say something or do something, other than if you are, of course, in prison or incarcerated, they cannot force you to say something in court, or you have the right to free will and choice. And then self-defense. This one's interesting because there's a lot of stipulations behind it. If you are in fear of your life and you are being attacked by something or somebody, and that you are in fear that they are going to seriously hurt you or kill you, you do have the right to protect yourself. But there's been a lot of cases where this has been taken advantage of or exploited, and it's very interesting, in my opinion. But I think this is going to wrap up the lesson for today. Maybe in the future, I'll make future videos teaching the world about rights. I'm not going to make another video, but I hope everyone enjoyed this. The total of 5 classmates I have in my classroom. And anybody watching, thank you. And I'm never making one of these again.